Hey everyone, welcome back to Verified Gains, where we discuss cryptocurrency in the year of 2025. Happy Monday. Today's date is June 9th, 2025. Let's dive right into the charts. For the past 1 month, I've been posting on a weekly basis. There's not a whole lot going on, uh, and I don't want to make, too many videos when there are really no, constructive analysis or feedback or anything to add to the content. Right now, I'm doing on a weekly basis, but I really am looking forward to an exciting summer. Now that the month of May is over, hopefully we see some exciting price action. But that said, let's look at the Bitcoin charts. It had a lot of red days after the initial rejection off the $106,000 resistance line. We had this, what I call a double bottom pattern. It's very similar to other things that you'll see over here. I'll say that, for example, over here is a double top, so a strong rejection. But usually what I'm looking for is a red candle and a green candle of similar magnitude that is much larger than the adjacent candles over here. That's what we saw. We didn't quite hit the previous support line at 98,000, but some may even argue, maybe the true resist or the support line was around $101,000. So far, it looks since the bounce back to the upside, we've broken through the resistance line at 106. However, I'm still going to keep this line as a red line because I would like to see some consolidation above 106 before I know that this is a true breakout to the upside and not simply some bull trap where a lot of people are going to buy in and then we end up going back down. In terms of news and macro, not a whole lot going on, right? The most powerful man in the world, well, quote unquote, the most powerful man in the world had a little feud with the richest man in the world. So that is what's going on or happened this past week. When you just zoom in, right? If you just zoom in, some people might feel a little bearish, saying, hey, maybe this 111th was the high and we're simply going back down. But there are 2 points to keep in mind. Number one, we were in the overbought territory over here, and we did cool down the RSI a little bit. Once I get to the 40 to 50 range, that's good enough for me. In fact, if we had oversold here, actually I would have been even more bullish because that means a lot of retail traders are buying in and selling in because that's basic human psychology. People are very weary, but also have a lot of FUD, and they want to buy in when the markets are volatile and sharply increasing, but they're also quick to sell in the volatile market when there's a little bit of pullback. Right now, if anything, we're actually seeing what I would call more prudent investors, people who've been in the game and who are not easily getting freaked out by the volatility. But that said, there's one other important point that we must keep in mind, and that is actually just simply turning on the Pi cycle top indicator and zooming out. Once we zoom out, we know that we're still above the 111-day moving average. Now, we didn't really have to retest it, right? We're simply in this middle zone where our target is to reach the 350-day moving average times 2. Furthermore, the 111-day moving average continues to point upwards. And eventually, just as a reminder, the Pi cycle top indicator signals the 111-day moving average intersects the 350-day moving average times 2 line over here. Okay, so I would say overall we're in a very good spot. This is exactly where we want to be during the bull cycle. This was a little bearish. Here is completely normal to be in this section over here. And if there is some explosive movement, it really is going to be towards this green line here, which currently sits at 160K plus. So that is the price target if I look at Solana. And the price cycle top indicator, in my humble opinion, only really applies to Bitcoin. So there's no point in looking at that. Similar to Bitcoin, we saw a bounce back, not so surprising. There was this little scare where we actually broke through the $148, but we quickly bounced back up. And I did not, these are not new lines that I've drawn in. I've said time and time again, the major price point that we're going to look at, and look at how the market reacted. We bounced back up, consolidated above the support line, and so far it's looking very good. So I really like this support line over here. We do eventually have to retest 180, break above it, and consolidate. In terms of dollar cost average, and look at the RSI. So here we actually was near the oversold area compared to Bitcoin. And in terms of market psychology, that does reflect what I just said, right? So who are the type of people that are investing in altcoin rather than Bitcoin? They have a bigger risk appetite. However, they're also quick to buy and quick to sell because they want to make a lot of money. They also want to manage their risk. This great change in RSI reflects the general audience for altcoin in general. But that said, we did reset the RSI. We're going to have to see how much time it takes for us to retest 180. And from a dollar cost average, basically anything below 180 is a discount, because really our main goal is to retest the previous all-time high around 290. Now eventually we're going to hit 4 digits, 4 figures this bull cycle. But I'm also a Solana bull. I'm very bullish about Solana. I know a lot of people are talking about SUI, sorry, Hyperliquid, all these other layer ones, but I'm most bullish on Solana. Last but not least, definitely not the least, let's talk about POPCAT. Here, I was actually very surprised. I thought we were going to hit the bottom of this RSI, but we actually did not, but that's fine. It was a pretty good pullback. And we did pull back all the way down to 35 cents. This has been my support line for a very long time. I would say since end of April. And there's a lot of retest, possible breakthrough, but then we bounce back up. Very similar to the other 2 charts that we just looked at. On the red days, I continued to dollar cost average then. I thought about dollar cost averaging yesterday, but as long as it's a green day, I'm okay with just monitoring, because the bullish side of me says, well, what is a discounted price? Is anything below $1 discount? Therefore, I should continue to dollar cost average on a daily basis. But after much consideration, to me, it makes more sense to enjoy the green days, let it ride. But on the red days, I'll continue to buy in, try to work out the average cost in my favor. But I'm not quite sure, number one, if I have the capital, and number two, if I constantly want to buy in, even on the green days. It's not like I did some financial modeling to come up with that idea. It's mainly just sentiment. Let me just enjoy the green days, but if there's a red day, just making a habit to dollar cost average. So far, it's been working out well. I'm really glad that we're able to hold the 35 cent support line, excuse me. And really, during the summer times, I am looking forward to us retesting the $2 mark. Really hope that happens in the next 2-3 months during the summer month. And hopefully we see some crazy move to the upwards where by October, because my prediction is mid-September for Bitcoin cycle top, and give or take 3 to 4 weeks, I'm really hoping that we see the altcoin top around October/November, and that would be the most ideal 2025 bull cycle for me. We'll touch base if there's any significant price movement or news, but otherwise, I'll probably see you guys next week. If you guys are into Solana and or POPCAT, please subscribe. We're trying to build a community here, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be great. My target is 7 figures. Whether your target is 4 figures, 5 figures, 6 figures, or 7 figures, if you're using this opportunity to make life-changing money, if you're using this opportunity to financially retire early, please subscribe. Please watch my weekly videos because we're building a community here and this is going to be a very exciting journey in the next several months. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening in. Bye-bye.